Welcome everyone. My name is Garam, and today's topic is about why love is the greatest of them all. Let's get started. This week has been pretty rough for me. Emotionally and mentally, I felt like my life has been shattered. I've been reflecting on how God has been faithful to me despite the fact that I found myself with my own shortcomings in life. Throughout this week, I began to see God's love for me everywhere. While I found greater appreciation and gratefulness for His love for me, there was a part of me where I was blown away by God's grace for me. For many of us, God's grace may not make any sense. Many of us struggle with our own coping skills, bad habits, or believing in our own efforts instead of leaning, trusting, and believing in God. Romans chapter 5, verses 8 to 9 says, "But God demonstrates His own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Since we have now been justified by His blood, how much more shall we be saved from God's wrath through Him?" This passage helped me understand the greatness of God's love. That being faithful and loving to us, even when we don't deserve it, requires an even greater love. The pull of the world is strong, and we tend to slip. But God continues to love us. His pure love instantly pulls us up from darkness, sin, sorrow, death, or despair we may find ourselves in and brings us into the light of eternity. It may seem difficult to comprehend and accept the greatness of God's love, mainly because many of us haven't experienced that amongst other human beings, and because we ourselves struggle to be loving to others when it's not being reciprocated. But when you look at your life as a whole and think of all the ways you have fallen short in your walk with God, and if you look closely enough, you'll see that God was faithful and He never left you. This alone will make you look at God differently. When we are filled with God's love, we can do, see, and comprehend things that we could not before. Filled with His love, we can endure pain, overcome fear, forgive freely, renew strength, bless and help others in ways that may be surprising even to us. In closing, I want to end by sharing that there is no shortage of God's love, only in our willingness to do what is needed to feel it. For those of you who have not experienced this, ask God to fill you with His Spirit. It is when we feel God's love in our hearts, can we rise above our circumstances and inspire others to do the same.